कंस्पिरेसी है, फाउल प्ले है, उनको जहर दिया गया है, उनकी हत्या जो है नेचुरल कॉजेस से नहीं हुई है, उनको मारा गया है. हाउ डू यू रिस्पॉन्ड?
See, first of all, thank you for inviting me on your TV show. See, this is a matter of investigation, and surely the government will look into this. But after all, the judgment that has been passed by the mighty Almighty, we are all happy that finally the Almighty has given His verdict. And once said that the Almighty, whatever decides, always happens for the beneficiary of everybody. So the whatever comes from His court or from His judgment, we should accept it very sincerely. And I thank Almighty. And today I visited the Kashi Vishwanath temple in Varanasi with my mom, and we thank God that whatever sacrifices or whatever the period that we have been through, both of us, the God has given us the strength that today we have seen His judgment on His behalf for this such kind of person who has been always negative in the society, and this judgment we all thank Almighty for this.
He faced the charge, Mukhtar Ansari, Piyush faced the charge of killing your father. I know your family went through quite an ordeal. It was such a tragedy when you lost your father, BJP MLA Krishnanand Rai. Can you take us through those times, those moments? It must have been such a traumatic time for your family and for the rest of the family members as well.
Yeah, of course, that time was very upsetting, and whenever we try to remember those periods, we still get some shivers from it. But the intentions of the government always is very important for the betterment of the society. And at that time, the government of Samajwadi Party has clearly no vision and no clear indication of their actions against such people who are bad in the society. And clearly there has been change from 2017 under the leadership of Pujaniya Maharaj Yogi Adityanath ji. We see a clear intentions of zero tolerance policies against such people who have been always corruption and always loot to the society. And thus the changes is happening from 2017, and there is a clear logic and clear vision of our honorable chief minister and honorable prime minister that we have been seeing such a dramatic changes in the society's political and social welfare.
Right. Do you see that change now, Piyush? You say that there was a time when these gangsters, they would enjoy so much influence, they had so much power. I mean, it's shocking to hear that Mukhtar Ansari was a successful politician from inside the jail. If you could reminisce about those times and how really your family had lived through those times. Your mother, in fact, had went through such a tough time. She, in fact, had declared not to celebrate any festival post the unfortunate demise of the BJP MLA. If you could just give us a little bit more about those horrific times for you and your family members.
Actually, at those time, under circumstances of under the political parties of Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samaj Party leadership and their government, these gangsters were thriving very well because they have a full support and they have a full go on from these governments, and so there was no clear indications or intentions or clear intentions of such government to lose these gangsters from any ill killing or killings of such many persons. Like you remember, at that time there was a Mau Danga, a Mau riot in which almost 38 Yadav peoples were killed at that time. So these people always uses such gangsters for for their own political agenda. Whenever they feel right, they use such person for their political advantages. But always there is always someone who is watching from above the head and looking into every matters and every person's sacrifices and their struggles. And that Almighty has always been good with us, that He has given such strength. My mother always used to say, whenever at early stages of my life I used to get depressed that what will be happen in future and how we going to tackle such gangster in future. She always say you should follow the constitution and you should always follow the court and do your process, but always remember there's almighty watching on all of us, and whenever he strikes there will be a big noise, but this noise will be heard all over the world. But that saying of my mother is still boozing in my head, and still that sound is clear in my head. That's why today when I told my mother that the judgment from almighty has come, she was very happy and she asked me to just go with her to the Baba Vishwanath temple, and we visited, and we took blessings from Baba Vishwanath. So this is just a pure feelings of happiness for us, and this is a sheer faith that my mother used to have on
Well,
Baba Vishwanath,
understandably.
and
Understandably,
yeah.
Piyush, your family has been through so much. Would you agree that there was a time that these criminal elements who enjoyed immense power and influence in the political class actually resulted in the deterioration of law and order in the state of Uttar Pradesh? And has that changed now? Do you see that change now?
Of course, because these gangsters thrived in the region of in the government of BSP and Samajwadi Party, because they have been full supportive to such gangsters like Shahabuddin or Atiq Ahmad or Mukhtar Ansari. And there was a clear-cut intentions change during after 2017, when government of the BJP has come into the state, and which leadership by Pujniya Maharaj Yogi Adityanath ji, and his intentions were very clear about these gangsters, that there should be a zero tolerance against these gangsters. Whatever the causes may come, the government will follow the strict actions against such gangsters, and surely these intentions, these good intentions, which were brought into the society now feels that they are safe and they are now progressing well, because these gangsters are either in the jail or they have been met their almighty. So there is always a big drastic change which has been brought up by the BJP government, either in the state or under the leadership of Pradhan Mantri Modi ji, or under the leadership of in the state under the leadership of Pujniya Maharaj Yogi Adityanath ji. There is a big and clear changes that we have been seeing, because this is a long period of over 19 years after
Yes.
my father's death,
Yes.
that and from these 19 years I have been clearly seeing lots of ups and downs in the political background, also in the political scenario also. But after 2017 there is a one and clear cut message to every gangster, that if you have to stay in UP, either you should be in a jail or go to hell or heaven, whether you whatever your karma decides.
Right, Piyush, thank you so much for joining us and sharing
Thank
your
you.
thoughts
Thank you.
and reactions on the death of Mukhtar Ansari.